Hello, this video is going to help you to understand what I mean when I say I would like you to use MLA style and what that looks like. So you'll notice I uploaded onto Canvas a paper in MLA style. And I asked you to follow that. Let me find that paper now here. MLA, there we go. I uploaded this MLA sample paper. And all of this that I'm pointing to right now, I'm finding this on the Purdue Online Writing Lab. If you just Google Purdue OWL, this will come up and you can search within. If you want to get more specific, you can Google MLA, Purdue OWL MLA sample paper, or Purdue OWL MLA style. And I think the best way to understand what I mean by a style, and the best thing to use as a quick reference for MLA style, is a sample paper. So this MLA style means the style of the Modern Languages Association, which is an association or a group for professional professors and academics who study literature and languages, but you'll often find that in high school or in college, your professors in English classes are going to ask you to use MLA style. So that's why we're going to use it for this paper. And this, in the professional setting, if papers are all formatted the same way, it helps readers know what to expect. And in a school setting, if papers are all formatted the same way, it helps me as a reader and you all as each other's readers. It helps you to know kind of what to expect from a paper. And just so the closer we follow those standards, the easier it is to read your paper and understand the content. If I open your paper and I can't find the title and I can't find who the author is, and the quotations and citations are done wrong, and then it's in a weird font, and there's weird spacing, that's going to distract me, right? And you don't want your reader to be distracted. You want your reader to be focusing on the content of your paper. And if we all follow the same format, then we're focused on the content and not the design so much. So again, I think this sample paper is the best way to get a feel for what I'm asking for. But there are all kinds of tools on this toolbar, MLA style, just about anything you could want, from formatting quotations to endnotes and footnotes, and your works cited page, that's all available. Okay, general format's probably an important one to look at. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. And I'm not going to go over every single thing because you can read these boxes, but you know, this style does not have a title page. APA does have a separate title page. This does not call for a separate title page. So you just put your name at the beginning, then my name and our class. You could just say English or language arts or English language arts, and then the date that you turn it in. And you're going to want to insert the kind of page numbers on the top right where you also put your last name, so that if I'm on page 2, I remember who wrote it. Okay. This is going to tell us that the blue boxes contain directions for writing and citing in MLA style, and the green ones contain explanations. Okay, so some things to focus on. You want to be double spaced. You want to be 12-point Times New Roman. Do not abbreviate the month here, and you do it in sort of the European style, or the style that really everyone in the world does, probably except the United States, where you say day, month, year. Your title goes here. It's centered. It's not bolded, underlined, or italicized. Okay. What else does it show us? There's double spacing throughout. There's no single spacing in the document. If you do a level 2 header or kind of a subhead, this is how it should be: small capitals. if you were to do another sublevel, and there's no reason in a paper as brief as ours that we should need a third sublevel, but it tells you how you would format that. Okay. And with these different levels, there's different kind of indenting and spacing, but for the most part, you'll see that we indent every paragraph and we just double space. We do not put extra spaces between paragraphs. We do in-text citations with author and page number. You can use endnotes to explain a point further that might disrupt the flow of text. Again, for this assignment, I don't need to see end notes. It's not going to be complicated enough that we're going to need end notes. Okay. But again, double spacing throughout, indented paragraphs, no extra space between paragraphs, 12-point Times New Roman, in-text citations with page numbers. Okay. Your paper's not going to be this long, but you can certainly take a look at all the tips in here. This is how you would do a block quote. I do not want to see block quotes in your paper because your papers are only 2 to 3 pages or so. You should not have a quote that's more than 5 lines in a paper that is that short. Here, they wanted a level 2 header for their conclusion. You are not required to necessarily do it that way. It could just be the final. I'm going to know that the last paragraph is your conclusion. You're not going to have endnotes, so you don't need to worry about that page. You will have a works cited page. So this is another important part of your paper. The works cited means these are the works I cited. Literally, these are the books or texts that I referred to in my paper. You should have at least 3. Some of you might have 4. You follow this formatting. It's not called the reference page or anything. It's called the works cited page when you're in MLA. Double space, line to the left. Okay. Do your best with this. You will not, you will not be docked an entire letter grade or something or number grade because you have an indent wrong. But I want us to do our best to start to learn these standards, okay? So I think the sample paper is a really good source. And again, that's linked to on Canvas. There's a PDF of that. You may also find the other thing that you're going to find helpful is works cited page for books and other common sources. Right, this shows you how a citation should go. If I'm doing a book, author last name, author first name, period. Title of book, italic, period. City of publication, comma, publisher, comma, publication date, so that it looks like this. Gleick, comma, James, Chaos, Making of a New Science, Penguin, 1987. Okay, that didn't have the publication city. But oftentimes they will, especially if it's a lesser known publisher. Okay. Let's see if it has poems on here because other common sources, an interview, online published interview, speeches. Let's see if we can find, let's do our search. MLA poem citation. MLA formatting quotations, works cited page, books. I don't know if I can find poem immediately. Book with one author, book with more than one author. Maybe under, so other anthology or collection maybe, or a work in an anthology or collection, I think. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Poem or short story examples. Okay, so that's just on that same page where it shows how to cite books. This is where you, how you can cite a poem. Here's the poet's name. Here's the title of the poem in quotation marks, and then you follow it with the title of the book in italics, and then the person who edited that book and other publication number, page number. Okay, if you found your book on, or I'm sorry, if you found your poem on poets.org, you might want to refer to how to cite, works cited, like let's see, electronic, is there a, there's basics, books, electronic sources. Okay, I bet if you scroll down here you could find how you cite a poem that you found online. Okay, some other things in one of the sample essays that we have on Canvas that was written by another student who followed this curriculum, they underline their books, their book titles. That's not really something that's done anymore. You want to italicize book titles, and then you put in quotes a poem title. Okay. All right. Oh, I should also point out, if you were doing APA style, you simply look at all this information I just showed you, but in APA. Okay, so I believe we have a sample paper somewhere. And again, usually people will use APA in the social sciences, but if you're used to doing that and you want to do that, that's okay with me, as long as you are consistent and you follow the guidelines. Okay, so there should be a sample paper somewhere here. APA sample paper. Okay, so you notice that in an APA paper you have a title page. Okay, and they're here they're using, looks like maybe they're using Arial 11 perhaps. Let me look. I may need to do some further investigation into that. Okay, but this is APA style, and then you'll notice in APA style, you have a reference page rather than a works cited page. Okay. Other styles that are detailed on this site are Chicago style, which some of you might use. I don't know these other styles as well, ASA, AMA, or IEEE style. I would stick with MLA, or if you already know Chicago or APA, use those. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say how you need to follow a style guide. Okay, it means the font size and style that you use, it means the spacing, it means reference or works cited, and you just follow those conventions so that as a reader, I'm not distracted by your formatting. Instead, I'm invested in your ideas and thinking about that. Okay.